Hello, everyone. I'm Reverend Richard Miner. I'm the Graduate Engagement Officer here at One Spirit Learning Alliance in New York City. And today I have the great pleasure of being here with Jonathan Hammond. Jonathan, thank you for joining me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. My pleasure.
Jonathan, we're very excited. You are teaching a really interesting class that's coming up very, very shortly called The Shaman's Mind. It's going to be Saturday and Sunday, October 26th and 27th from 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's going to be available either attending in the classroom in New York via video conference or via download. Can you tell me a little bit about the class?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you what it isn't. What it isn't is running around in coconut bras and grass skirts and ukuleles. That's not what it is. Even though it comes from Hawaii. A lot of people don't know this, but the Hawaiian shamanism is the most psychological and the most philosophical of any indigenous tradition that I've ever come across, having worked in Brazil, Bali, Mexico, etc. And Huna is a way in which we learn to think like a shaman. But when we think about a shaman, we think of this sort of otherworldly person who does these things that we can't do. And really, they're just very specific about how they think, what they don't allow in terms of their thoughts. And they are really coming from a place of that thoughts are things, and that we are really creating our reality, not just sometimes, not when we're just being spiritual, but all the time. So this class is about how a shaman's mind works, how he heals, what motivates him or her, how they think about healing. I often say that a shaman, if a shaman likes what's happening, he makes it better. And if he doesn't like it, he changes it. And Huna is a system that, that allows us a myriad of possibilities to do that. And it's very, very accessible. It's all things that in some ways you've heard before, but I've just never found a system where these kind of universal spiritual truths are all in one place. They're all, and it's extremely malleable and flexible with any faith tradition. It's not like you're learning one specific thing that's this esoteric wisdom that doesn't relate to your faith tradition. My teacher, Serge King in Hawaii, says, if it works, it's Huna. So it's a really effective philosophy and kind of psycho-spiritual system for successful living.
This sounds like a truly amazing philosophy, and it's going to be a really, really interesting class. Can you tell me a little bit about what will happen during the class?
Yeah, so there's lectures. There are experiences, meditations, shamanic journeys. We'll actually be doing divination with stones and shells right out of the Hawaiian tradition. We'll be working with Hawaiian magic, which is where we are, a process called haipule, where we are actually consciously manifesting what it is that we desire. We'll be doing some hands-on work, some energy healing, and even something called kahiloa, which is a light touch, not quite massage, but it's kahi means a light touch of the skin, and loa means the greatest. So it's the greatest light touch of the skin. And it's a very shamanic process. It's really wonderful and feels great. So that'll be Sunday afternoon. So, and all of it revolves around this philosophy. You know, there are 7 principles and 3 parts of us that we relate to. People don't know this, but you know, when we think of Freud and Jung and the id and the ego and the superego, the Hawaiians were onto that hundreds of years before them. So it's really fascinating to see the merger between the contemporary psychotherapeutic model with shamanism. It's fascinating stuff.
This sounds like it's going to be a really amazing class. What is the benefit of taking this class and being exposed to this philosophy, and who should take this class?
Well, certainly anyone interested in shamanism, anyone interested in conscious manifestation, you know, anyone interested in empowerment. There's a golden rule in Hawaii. I'm reading it because I can't remember it. Aloha mai ke akua ipo, and that means to love oneself as we love God. And Huna is really about honoring that divinity within and becoming a match for the divine gifts without. And so anyone who is interested in really deepening their relationship with themselves, and certainly healers, any kind of any kind of ministerial person, therapists, and just people who want to open to thinking like a shaman. Shamans are connected to possibility. There's never, there's always something to do with the shamans. There's always something to do. There's always an answer. There's always another way of looking at things. And this philosophy helps us see through that lens. So in that way, it's really quite universal.
Sounds like this is going to be amazing. And I'm sure that anyone who takes the class is going to have a really wonderful experience. So again, it's called The Shaman's Mind. It's going to be Saturday and Sunday, October 27th and 28th from 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. It will be available live in the class, live via Zoom across the internet, or via download. Jonathan, we are very much looking forward to having you teaching with us again, and I will look forward to seeing you at One Spirit.
Mahalo. Thank you.